Hey, everybody, and welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
What it do?
And I am your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey. How are you guys tonight? Let's start with you, Scribe. How's things?
I'm fine.
Satsu?
Well, I had to do some work this morning, or this afternoon, I guess, that I hadn't expected to have to do, which kind of put a pin in my day, I suppose. But otherwise, I got some other things done with the video, and here I am.
Satsu, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I've been working all day doing something channel related, and I've been doing it through a fucking migraine that has literally been destroying my head. But it's gone now because Squishy came home and took care of me, and I'm good. So there you go. I was productive, and I got rid of my headache, or Squishy got rid of my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to ask any questions about that.
Hmm.
I had a decent day. Little Butt came over. I was in a lot of pain, but she came over and insisted Grandpa play with her, and so I pushed through, and we had fun. She stole my chips. We ate lunch together. We did the normal Grandpa granddaughter stuff. I said her real name, didn't I? I did.
Spaghetti.
That's all right. The Grand Monkey was over and we had a great time. Let's see. Check Your Ledger says my birthday next week. I don't expect anything too special. Well, drop by and we'll sing in only the way we know how.
We know how to sing?
I didn't say we know how to sing. I said
Oh shit!
Whoa!
Satsu's breaking his equipment right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You okay over there?
Yeah, fucking.
You're gonna get another migraine, man.
The fucked up part is I ended up dropping my keyboard because I was trying not to move too much so my head wouldn't hurt again.
Mash says, attention chat, I'm officially on vacation for the next 2 weeks. Congratulations. Enjoy that. Do something fun. I've been on vacation for like 2.5 years now, but it's not a good one.
Yeah.
You know, before I got hurt the first time, I always thought, you know, it'd be so great to just sit at home and do nothing. And that is so fucking boring. So boring. But yeah. I realized today that I'm white.
Oh, that took a while.
Nobody's ever accused me of being civil. Am I not being white right?
Yeah, you need to work on your
gotta work on being white better.
Are you currently homeless?
No.
Are you currently in chains?
No.
Are you currently being unwillfully groped by people?
Sadly, no.
Then yeah, you're being white right.
Jesus. Okay, with that out of the way, anything else we want to talk about before we get started?
I would like to make a comment on clashing narratives for a second.
Sure, go ahead.
I like how we went from white people are the scum of the earth and uncaring, unfeeling demon people to civility is a thing that exclusively white people do.
Well, it's one of the tools we use to be horrible people.
Yes.
That is how devious we are. We use civility to oppress people.
Hilarious.
With that out of the way, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, smash that like button, guys. Seriously, smashing the like button is the most helpful thing you can do besides sharing our stuff. Don't forget to share, guys. YouTube doesn't help us out in that manner. Streams, videos, for those of us who still make them. Anything you can do to help get the word that we are awesome out there, we appreciate. And with that out of the way, Scribbles, do we have news today?
Sure. How about international relations?
Sweet. I like internationally relating people.
North Korea pans gangster-like mindset of the U.S. as Pompeo signals progress in talks.
I understood like 4 of those words.
So basically, North Korea is calling the U.S. a bunch of gangsters while our diplomat says there's progress taking place in the talks with North Korea.
Gotcha. I would agree.
North Korea slammed what it called the United States gangster-like mindset in denuclearization talks just hours after U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo described the high-level negotiations as productive and insisted progress was being made. Quote, "We had many hours of productive conversations," Pompeo told reporters Saturday in Pyongyang before boarding a flight to Tokyo. "These are complicated issues, but we've made progress on almost all the central issues. Some places, a great deal of progress. Other places, there's still more work to be done." North Korea, however, poured cold water on the talks, saying the attitude of the U.S. was regrettable and not in the spirit of the June 12th summit in Singapore between President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Quote, "We expected the U.S. to bring constructive measures to build confidence in accordance with the spirit of the U.S.-NK summit," the statement carried by state-run news agency KCNA said. However, the attitude of the U.S. in the first high-level talks held on the 6th and 7th were indeed regrettable. The statement added, according to an English language version of the statement, quote, "The U.S. is fatally mistaken if it went to the extent of regarding that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea would be compelled to accept out of its patience the demands reflecting its gangster-like mindset."
Okay. So
yeah.
I'm not going to necessarily disagree that we might have gone into it a little gangsta. That's what we do. We're America.
Fuck yeah.
But isn't Korea the one that's threatening that we're going to get nukes if you... Never mind. Falcon Millennial, thank you. North Korea just wants Korean War 2. Bad idea. Yeah. I don't think they really want war. I think they've gotten so used to capitulance from the U.S. that they're having trouble understanding how to deal with us right now.
Or they don't... Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, I was about to say... because I like how they were saying, like, because they used the word productive, that it was somehow a lie because Korea wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Productive for us. It's what I think they were going for. Like, yeah, we're still in control of this situation. Therefore, it was productive to us. If they didn't necessarily like it, that don't means that we're necessarily doing bad. That just means that they need to get used to the way things work now.
I don't think North Korea knows how to do diplomacy without belittling its competition.
Mm.
I don't think it knows, like, it has a sort of, I don't know, historical mindset, especially with the leaders as they've been and their attitude towards everybody else, how to sound anything other than adversarial when talking about anyone other than their, like, closest friends, like Dennis Rodman.
Cryptic, you're going to get me in trouble. Cryptic, thank you. Damn it, I told Pompeo to not try to slide in the pork for dog meat. Need to change the meat slowly.
Oh.
Cryptic is Asian. He can say that. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't remember a time that I've seen Korea talk about somebody they don't already agree with where they're not insulting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, they don't know how to show a quote. I mean, I think they still see compromise or friendliness as weakness.
Sure.
You know? So anyway,
even if they don't, they're afraid their people do.
Right. Yeah. Can't have the people thinking that the government is somehow backing off on its unilateral everybody's bad except us dialogue.
Yeah.
Elsewhere in the world, on the other side of the planet, something I didn't even know was going on because, there's more important things in the world, like the color of Trump's tie today and that kind of thing. As Haiti protests continue, U.S. citizens are warned to shelter in place. I didn't even know there was protests going on. As demonstrations continued in the Haitian capital of Port-au-Prince and a northern city following a fuel price hike, the U.S. Embassy warned its citizens Saturday to stay inside. Protesters have been demonstrating this week against a sharp rise in fuel prices ordered by the government. Prime Minister Jacques-Guy Lafontaine on Saturday announced a temporary stop to the price increases and appealed for calm. Prices for gasoline were to rise 38%, while diesel prices were to go up 47% and kerosene 51%. An estimated 120 American and 100 Haitian guests are staying in a Port-au-Prince hotel, where demonstrators earlier tried to set fire to the hotel and to get past security.
Damn.
After the prime minister's announcement, the situation calmed down, she said. U.S. officials told tourists and missionaries to shelter in place. Quote, "Do not attempt to travel at this time. Avoid protests and any large gathering of people. Do not attempt to drive through roadblocks." Yeah, well, that's common sense. The U.S. Embassy's website says armed demonstrators are manning some of the roadblocks. Jesus. There are no reports of U.S. citizens in Haiti being injured, the embassy said. American Airlines, JetBlue, and Spirit Airlines have all canceled flights to Haiti. American spokesman Curtis Blessing said the airline canceled the airline? You named 3. Okay, but anyway, the airline canceled 7 flights and will reevaluate the situation Sunday. Oh, sorry, American Airlines. I think, okay, American spokesman. I thought that was the spokesman from the country of America, not American Airlines. He's speaking for American Airlines. You should have said American Airlines spokesman. People, seriously, that's anyway. Moving on.
Real quick, Falcon Millennial, thank you. Korea's stuff is so shit. We could use this stuff from the last war.
No,
yeah, I think we should just stay out of the war. Just keep twisting their arm. Yeah, Haiti's a shithole.
No, America's a shithole. Remember,
Monkey? That's not PC. Come on.
Oh, am I not being civil?
That's not civility, Monkey.
Damn it!
That's insulting.
I will get it right eventually.
And lastly, and this is the international news night because not anything out of the ordinary big happened so far as I can tell, but I've got 3 different stories from different parts of the world. The woman who accused Justin Trudeau of groping her breaks her silence.
Oh, yeah, he denied it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he made another statement too recently. I don't know if you guys heard that one.
It might be in here. I don't know. Let's see. A former newspaper reporter said Friday that allegations in an editorial claiming Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau groped her at a musical festival 18 years ago are true, but she considers the matter closed. In a statement obtained by CNN partner CBC News, yes, the Canadian Broadcasting Company, Rose Knight. That's a great name. That's like a name for like a young adult novel series of like a girl who fights the supernatural.
Yeah.
Rose Knight. Rose Knight said Trudeau, who was not in politics at the time, apologized the next day. Last Sunday, Trudeau said he doesn't recall. Okay.
The apology was, I didn't know you were a reporter. That's what they said.
Well, what I don't understand is if the matter was closed, why bring it up?
They didn't. This was dug up by other people.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody dug up the old column and reposted it. I want to say it was Breitbart, but I'm not positive on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last Sunday, Trudeau said he doesn't recall, quote, any negative interactions that day at all, unquote. The prime minister on Thursday, 18 years ago, I don't remember what I was having for lunch 18 years ago. So anyway, the prime minister on Thursday said he did apologize at the time. Okay, quote,
for what?
Well, yeah, if you apologize, if there were no negative interactions, what did you have to apologize for? Quote, I do not feel that I acted inappropriately in any way, but I respect the fact that someone else might have experienced that differently, and this is part of the reflections that we have to go through, unquote.
I felt you up. I'm sorry you took it wrong.
I didn't know you were a reporter. I wouldn't have felt you up otherwise. The question concerns a charity fundraiser that Trudeau, then 28, attended in Creston, British Columbia in 2000. Trudeau attended the fundraiser to support avalanche safety. Okay, exciting. An unsigned editorial that appeared at the time in the Creston Valley Advance newspaper said Trudeau apologized for inappropriate, quote, handling of the woman. The editorial did not provide any details, but said Trudeau, quote, blatantly disrespected, unquote, the reporter. The allegation resurfaced last month after Canadian political commentator Warren Kinsella tweeted a picture of the editorial and used the #MeToo hashtag.
Yes.
Valerie Bourne, former publisher of The Advance, told CBC News that she spoke with the reporter in 2000. Quote, my recollections of the conversation conversation were that she came to me because she was unsettled by it. She didn't like what had happened. She wasn't sure how she should proceed with it because, of course, we're talking about someone who was known to the Canadian community. Bourne said, quote, I would not classify it or qualify it as sexual assault, but she said that Trudeau's alleged actions were, quote, definitely not welcome and definitely inappropriate. Knight said she issued her statement reluctantly, quote, in response to mounting media pressure. I did not pursue the incident at the time and will not be pursuing the incident further. I have had no subsequent contact with Mr. Trudeau before or after he became Prime Minister. Trudeau said Friday, quote, I think there is an awakening going on right now, and I think it's a good thing, but it also requires all of us to be having difficult conversations, difficult reflections, and model the kind of responsibilities and reflections that we have to have moving forward.
Just not the same responsibilities that other people have to handle when they're not on the left.
Well, I mean,
not in your position.
18 years ago, that everybody and their brother forgot, and the lady didn't even have any problem with at that point. Who gives a shit?
What the current fucking social climate does,
I
considering the people who've been fired.
I understand, but it's like,
well, here's the problem. He's a Me Tooer. And this is part of the hypocrisy crap we keep hearing about. Because, okay, I get what you're saying. It was 18 years ago. Does that mean he's never done it since? No, it means that other women aren't talking if it has happened.
Well, wait. They said it was not sexual assault. It was an uncomfortable thing that was dropped pretty quickly. He apologized because obviously whatever he did was inappropriate, but wasn't qualified as actually like trying to, grope her for sexual pleasure.
No, see, there's a difference between not sexual assault and groping, depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah, because
he may have grabbed her ass quite blatantly, and in her mind, that's not sexual assault. Now, under certain laws, it is.
Well, the reporter reporting on it said it didn't appear to be, and she said nothing about it being the case. So,
yeah, it's one of those situations where if the chick ain't really trying to pursue it or calling it that, then I guess it can't be that.
Well, that's really my point. It's like, not that I'm the biggest fan of Justin Trudeau for a lot of things, but in this instance, I don't think it's hypocrisy if it was something that was unintentional, admittedly inappropriate.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were a reporter for something unintentional.
Yeah. I mean, whether that story is bullshit or not, though, the point that I'm trying to make, the point that I think is important, is if he was somebody else, would any of that matter? Scribe? Nope. All this stuff.
Well, of course it doesn't matter because he's a public figure.
Yeah, none of it would matter. He would be axed and he would be shut down. But because of the background that he has, and because he's one of those pillars in their community right now, pushing all of the shit that they want to be pushed, they're like, well, maybe we won't get outraged about this one because he is who he is. But if he was somebody else or somebody they didn't particularly like, it doesn't matter if it was the most innocent thing in the world and the chick said, yeah, actually, it was me grabbing his hand, and it wouldn't. None of that would matter. They'd be like, he still needs to be axed.
Well, I don't know. Given how gray area this whole thing is, I don't see how this is effectively any different than Aziz Ansari. I mean, here's a guy who was called a hypocrite because he did all these things and was accused of something that, by any rational looking at the claims and things, didn't amount to anything wrong. In this instance, it's like 20 years ago, the guy did something that neither party seems to agree upon exactly what happened, but it wasn't sexual assault. The end. He apologized. She dropped it back then. If somebody else dug it up, a dead issue. I don't know. It seems like he's getting a little bit of a raw deal in this instance. Seems to me.
Well, I mean, I get it because I don't agree that any of the people that we pretty much talked about, unless they actually did something like egregious or whatever, should have been. And I don't think that he should be either. The bottom line is, though, Aziz Ansari and Trudeau or whatever, they both wear that same cloth, and that's the difference. They didn't get the backlash and the same treatment everybody else did because of who they are and what they advocate, and that's their shield, or else they would be finished right now. So fortunately for them, they're waving that flag because they wouldn't have survived any other way.
Well, the problem is that it's such a amorphous idea of what qualifies as quote unquote sexual assault or non-consensual or everything else when it comes down to either in single incidents or things that only a couple people saw or things that were done privately, that anyone who says they're against that is accused of something, like you say, it's unjust if they're accused of something without any evidence or without anything that would back up that anything actually bad happened.
Right.
So I don't see in this instance how, you can call Trudeau a hypocrite if he apologized at the time, understanding that something untoward happened. He didn't make an open-ended apology. Like,
no. Yeah, we weren't calling Trudeau.
Oh, I am. Yes, I am.
Oh, I wasn't.
Listen to the apology he gave at the time. It wasn't, oh, I'm sorry. It was, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were a reporter. That is not the same as I'm sorry I touched you inappropriately. That's, whoops, I didn't know you were going to tell the world.
Well, no, she didn't tell the world. Somebody else did. The editorial wasn't written by her. It was written by someone else. The editorial
was written by the paper that had sent her there. This is all in the original article. I can dig it up for you so you can read it if you'd like.
Okay, well, CNN told me different, so.
The original apology was, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were a reporter.
Mm-hmm.
That is different than I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, or I'm sorry, that was inappropriate. That was, I'm sorry, I didn't know you're going to tell everyone. And I don't see how. I mean, that is not an admission of guilt. That is, whoops. That's not the same thing as I made a mistake in my behavior. It's I made a mistake in my victim.
Victim?
He apologized for it.
I don't know. Something doesn't quite wash here. If I'm gonna allow for the possibility that someone can do something that's just stupid and not meant to be malicious, and apologize for it because he understood he did something wrong, and then 20 years later nobody's talked about it until somebody else digs it up. I don't know, dude. Why didn't
anybody talk about it at the time is the best question. I mean, this was the son of a former. I don't remember if it was former at the time or not, but his dad had been prime minister.
Yeah.
So it's not like he wasn't somebody known, but yeah, it all just went away. No questions.
Doesn't seem to rise to the level of being a problem to me after 20 years is all. I mean, like I say, Cenk Uygur says something 10 years ago. He changes his mind. This guy does something 20 years ago, apologizes at the time. Nobody brings it up until now because somebody's looking for dirt to try to find something to call somebody a hypocrite.
Well, my thing, like I said, I wasn't blaming him. My thing is the common theme between all those people, Cenk, fucking everybody we named who had gotten accused of something and just kind of slid by, they're all on the same side. That was my.
I get what you're saying there,
and that's why they slid by. If it was anybody else,
no. In Aziz's case, reading what happened there, there was no sexual assault. She had every chance to leave. Of course not. She agreed every step along the way. She just says she was uncomfortable agreeing the whole time. And he was supposed to read her mind. That is not the same. In this case, as far as what I read, she was not in. She didn't welcome it. They didn't do anything together. He was just inappropriate.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about what Satsu's saying here. I think Aziz got off. He might have got a little bit more shit if he wasn't in the Me Too side of things.
Oh, he definitely would have. Most certainly.
I think he got a pass because he didn't do anything wrong. Thank you, Three Sided Coin. Why didn't anyone say anything 20 years ago? Because we weren't all fucking pussies back then. Oh, and good evening, y'alls. Howdy. That's not necessarily true. You got to remember the sexual harassment thing started. When was that? Was back in Bush 1.
What, Anita Hill?
Yeah, Anita Hill.
Yeah, that was the first big deal. Yeah, it was 88, 89, something like that.
So 89 through what, 90, early 93 would have been when Clinton was, yeah. So sometime in that is when it all started. So if you have a big name, and it wouldn't have been a big story in our country at that time, sure. But it's not like, you also have to remember reporters can make a name for themselves by tearing somebody else down. So it's weird. I'll give you that. But it just kind of went away.
Yeah, I don't think any of the people who got the huge backlash for the misunderstandings or just the little passive things that men and women do, with each other. I don't think any of those people should have, and I'm not advocating for it to happen. It just pisses me off to see it effortlessly happen to people who aren't waving a certain flag, and it get kind of waved off whenever somebody who is.
Meanwhile, Puddin' Pops is going to jail.
Right.
I do have a story I want to read. It's the title of the stream tonight.
Okay.
A top Republican senator offered a potential massive clue about the identity of Trump's Supreme Court pick. Dun, dun, dun.
Gasp.
Because they used a pronoun?
Yes, absolutely. That is what it boils down to.
If it's not he, I can't imagine what the other option is.
Republican Senator Orrin Hatch may have offered a clue about who President Donald Trump will nominate to fill the vacancy on the Supreme Court left by retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy days ahead of the planned announcement on Monday. Guys, something.
Yeah, tell me about it.
In a Friday op-ed for the Desert News, a prominent newspaper in Hatch's home state of Utah, the longtime Republican lawmaker wrote a defense of the coming nominee amid a highly polarized and evenly split Senate. Quote, "Too much is at stake to allow politics to corrupt the Supreme Court confirmation process," Hatch said. Excuse me. "That's why in the coming weeks, I will lift heaven and earth to see the president's nominee across the finish line." The op-ed was notable for one reason. Hatch referred to the nominee using the pronouns her and she. This goes on to just repeat what he said in there, but that's the gist of it. He said her and she, so it's looking like Trump's probably going to pick a woman.
Let's see, and isn't there only like one at the top of the list, that 7 kids lady, Corbett, was it something like that?
Yeah, I think there were 2 in like the top 5, but she's the odds-on favorite.
Right.
He's going to pick a woman. At this point, the only reason not to is just to piss people off.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know I said this before, but Trump hates women.
He does. Well, maybe he's grabbed her by the pussy.
Or maybe he's bringing her in so he can grab her by the pussy.
Oh, that's true, too.
After 7 kids? I don't know.
Maybe they were.
I know some of those kids are adopted and all that. I know.
I'm about to say, after 7 kids, her pussy might be grabbing him.
Jesus Christ. Well played, sir. I think especially with Roe v. Wade being such a big topic right now, he'll probably pick a woman. And I think he would have leaned that way anyway, because his first one was a male, and she's about as qualified as the guy on top. I forget his name too. Sorry, guys, I'm great.
The guy on top, monkey. Jesus.
Well,
can't get more sexist than that.
I know, right? God, dude.
I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. So chances are he's going to nominate a woman if Orrin Hatch's pronoun usage is to be believed. Is that really where we are in news?
What if it's a dude who identifies as she, her?
It could be. Yeah.
God. You know what I would have done to really fuck over people? I would have stopped, looked at my article before I submitted it, and mixed it up. Have some with he and some with she, just to freak people out.
Yeah, I don't think you can actually read that much into it just based on the pronouns, but I would be surprised if he doesn't pick her.
Right.
With that out of the way, let me get my newscaster voice on here. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's a story you'd like us to read on air, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to them all, but we do thank you for all of your submissions. Scribe.
I just can't follow up something that sexy. But I'll try. Let's see. So this one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier, because boobs, basically. Let's see. How Miss Nude World went from prison guard to porn star.
Ooh.
I think she probably just made a decision. This is going to be a very short story. Facing off against global competition was hard work, admits Melbourne, Australia's Isabel Del Torre. But winning the Miss Nude World 2018 was just the confirmation she needed that a drastic career change had all been worth it. She's now a, quote, nude glamour babe and webcam model, unquote. But just a few years ago, Del Torre had a very different profession as an officer locking up men at some of Australia's toughest prisons. The whole country's a prison. What are they talking about? Talking to news.com.au on the sidelines of the recent Sexpo event in Sydney, where she was performing and selling merchandise, Del Torre said she left the prison service for porn because she was, quote, being objectified by the criminals.
Wait.
Oh. And now your picture is hanging in their jail cells. What?
Now they're beating off to your picture. Good job.
She quit because she was being objectified. So
by
she
the
said,
criminals.
fuck it, I might as well get paid for it.
There you go.
There you go. Money-wise and in terms of self-esteem, she said she's never looked back. Well, I'm sure she's looked back once or twice. Quote, I do pornography, but the technical term is erotica because I only do solo and girl on girl, but I don't do boy-girl stuff. And it's that which crosses it over to pornography.
What?
I'm reading as it's written. I'll try it again. I do pornography, but the technical term is erotica because I only do solo and girl on girl, but I don't do boy-girl stuff. And it's that which crosses it over to pornography. Okay,
I get it. She's saying
okay.
if she takes a dick, that's actually porn.
Well, okay, I see. That was just that was awkward. But the industry, well, in her mind, it's sort of like if I fuck you in the ass, it's not really sex or something, or she's still a virgin or whatever. But the industry is so small, so quite often we don't differentiate between erotica and pornography. So, two women having sex isn't pornography.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I agree. That's art.
Speaking of,
there you go.
Before we move on, have you guys ever heard of a song? It's a parody song called, I think it's Fuck Me in the Ass If You Love Jesus.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm curious where that came from.
You need to watch it because it is hilarious. It's basically these Christian girls singing a song about how they want to have sex, like really bad. And somebody came along and was like, oh, no, you just take it in the ass. It's different. And then they started singing a song about it.
I have seen that video on Pornhub, though.
Oh, I didn't see it on Pornhub. I saw it. I think I saw it on YouTube.
No, look up.
Satsu didn't get the joke.
Look up. She takes it in the ass to stay a virgin on Pornhub. You'll enjoy it.
Rather than men looking at her, as they do now in their droves on stage and online, she was once the one keeping a beady eye on the dudes. Quote, I was a screw, an officer in youth justice, and I was in youth. Yeah, oh Jesus! And I was in maximum security for 5 years.
There you go.
I was in the Army Reserves as well. But the grind of working in the prison system and the office politics wore Del Torre down. Quote, I was very good at what I did, but I was constantly fighting to move up the chain, and I was never going to win. I was just sick of the violence, sick of the sexual innuendo. I was constantly being objectified, and I was like, why not make money out of being objectified? There you go. I couldn't figure out what I was going to do, so I decided to be a secret stripper until I could get another job with my degree. But I just like stripping too much. This is definitely more lucrative. I wasn't on the prison roster. I wasn't on the prison roster. I'd done my last shift, and then I went into Spearmint Rhino and made what I would have made into 2 weeks in one night. Okay, I'm reading as it's written, guys. She's interesting way of talking. At 4 a.m., I sent the prison an email saying I resign. I was like, see you later.
More power to her.
Del Torre has been on the cover story of porn mags, has her own products such as calendars, and is a XXX webcam star. For $100, you can even buy some one-on-one nude Skype time with her. Yeah. She's kind of airbrushed and enhanced pretty.
Yeah.
She's in really good shape, but it's like, whatever.
She's got boobs and a vagina. Real quick, thank you, Terry Diamanis. It's called The Loophole by Garfunkel and Oates. I'm assuming that's the song you were talking about, Satsu. And Cryptic, replacing syrup, she's scissoring on some scissors.
Let's see. All right, we'll do one more from Colleen Bernier real quick. Let's see. Can't do a show without a Florida man story. Florida man 91. So I'll say that again. Florida man 91 threatens pastor with a gun over an ex-girlfriend.
Jesus.
Investigators in Florida say a 91-year-old man thought a pastor was involved with his ex-girlfriend, so he went to the church and confronted them with a gun. An arrest report says Pasco County Sheriff's deputies arrested Cornelius Jones. That is a fucking superhero name right there. Following the Saturday afternoon incident at the New Bethel AME Church in Lacucci. He is charged with aggravated assault. Investigators say the ex-girlfriend still lives with Jones. Oh, we just talked about that last night on Advice Columns.
Yes,
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Jones wanted to know why she was at the church, and the pastor approached them when he heard Jones's voice. That's when investigators say Jones stood up, held the handgun above his head, and threatened the pastor. The report said the pastor and 3 women went into his office and called 911. Jail records didn't list a lawyer for Jones. So there you go.
91 years old, he's going to shoot somebody over an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, how dare you fuck my girlfriend? I'm old.
Viagra has changed the rules, y'all.
Oh, here we go. Good news. Kind of good news. This comes from Subcon Jazz. Is this true? I guess it has to be. Controversial copyright law rejected by EU Parliament.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I heard that.
A controversial overhaul of the EU's copyright law that sparked a fierce debate between internet giants and content creators has been rejected. The proposed rules would have put more responsibility on websites to check for copyright infringements and forced platforms to pay for linking to news. A slew of high-profile music stars had backed the change, arguing that websites had exploited their content. But opponents said the rules would stifle internet freedom and creativity. The move was intended to bring the EU's copyright laws in line with the digital age, but led to protests from websites and much debate before it was rejected by a margin of 318 to 278 in the European Parliament on Thursday. The proposed legislation, known as the Copyright Directive, which doesn't sound Orwellian at all, was an attempt by the EU to modernize its copyright laws, but it contained 2 highly contested parts. The first of these, Article 11, was intended to protect newspapers and other outlets from internet giants like Google and Facebook using their material without payment. But it was branded a link tax by opponents who feared it could lead to problems with sentence fragments being used to link to other news outlets like this. And in the article, that sentence is a link to a news outlet. Article 13 was the other controversial part. It put a greater responsibility on websites to enforce copyright laws, would have meant that any online platform that allowed users to post text, images, sounds, or code would need a way to assess and filter content. The most common way to do this is by using an automated copyright system, but they are expensive and awful. That's my addition. The one YouTube uses costs $60 million. That's it. Okay, so critics were worried that similar filters would need to be introduced to every website if Article 13 became law. And YouTube's algorithm doesn't do any good either. So, can you imagine YouTube's content filtering copyright deal affecting an entire continent?
Oh yeah, real quick. There's a couple of Faith said the story is misleading, and Prospero says it hasn't been rejected. It's just been moved to public debate from a secret council debate. The legislation is still in the pipeline, just going to open debate. This isn't done. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that it hasn't been openly debated yet, so they can't really make a decision. So it was technically rejected, but not really. It's just kind of put to the side for open debate. So we'll see. We will see.
Let's see.
At least it wasn't passed through their little secretive shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's as much as we can hope for, I suppose, at the moment. And that was from the BBC. This wasn't. So I took the BBC on their word, but apparently maybe they were trying to obfuscate the situation. This one comes from Corey Suzuki. Man calls 911 over cold burger and fries from McDonald's.
I would rather them do that than throw it at the workers or assault someone over it. I mean,
At
it's
least
still
it wasn't a black person they called the police on.
You don't know who cooked it.
Yeah. Hamilton police are reminding the public that even a very unhappy meal at McDonald's is no reason to call 911. Officers were called to a McDonald's in the city Sunday by an irate customer who received a cold hamburger and fries after ordering them through Uber Eats, according to service spokesperson Jackie Penman.
That's your problem right there.
It wasn't, yeah, just go. Okay, wait a sec. A fast food place, and you get it through, for fuck's sake. It wasn't clear whether the restaurant or food delivery service was to blame for the not-so-fast food, but the unsatisfied customer was reminded a cold meal was no reason for an emergency response. Penman said frivolous calls to police are more common than most people might think, so the McDonald's mix-up actually serves as a good lesson. I want to know what they did to the guy. They don't say.
Hopefully ticketed him at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The burger was cold.
All kidding aside, don't call 911 unless it is a fucking emergency.
No, send a feedback to the fucking delivery company or something. I've had to do that before. So
yeah.
Let's see. Oh, is this true? Well, I don't know. This comes from Pinkalo, the driving ape man. He's changed his name again. Okay. Let's see. Americans voted for these 10 best food brands, but do you agree?
Let's see.
Okay, I'm just going to skip down to the ratings here. The number one best burger restaurant, Five Guys Burger and Fries.
No, I do not agree.
I've never been there.
It's not.
They're pretty good. They're not. I don't know. I wouldn't call them the best, but they're not at all bad. Let me put it that way.
No, they're not bad, but it's like it tastes like a burger you would make at home, which threw me off because I'm like I go to fast food because it doesn't taste like shit you can make at home. And when I taste it, I'm like, wow, I could have just made that at home. Like $10 for a fucking home burger.
Let's see. The best casual dining restaurant, it was a tie between the Cheesecake Factory and Texas Roadhouse.
I've never been to Texas Roadhouse. I've never been in a Cheesecake Factory. I've had cheesecake brought to me from them, and it was okay. Wasn't the best cheesecake I've ever had.
I don't trust the Cheesecake Factory because if there's one thing I learned, and I haven't learned much from the Kitchen Nightmares series from Gordon Ramsay, is that if your menu reads like a novel, then you're not doing anything that well.
Right, yeah.
And the Cheesecake Factory has basically a book they hand you of food to eat. And I'm just like, never trusted that after that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I hear their cheesecake is great, but their food sucks. This is what I've heard on numerous occasions. So.
Best chicken restaurant, can you guess?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
You're right, Chick-fil-A.
Of course.
Best coffee shop, can you guess?
Starbucks.
No,
Nope.
I'm reading it along with you, and I agree 100%, and I will fight anybody who disagrees.
Krispy Kreme.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't even drink coffee, but their donuts are heaven.
The best coffee maker, as in the machine, Keurig, or Keurig, however you say it.
Keurig.
Best ice cream and froyo shop, Ben and Jerry's.
Bullshit.
Oh, not Baskin Robbins. What?
Ben and Jerry's ice cream is disgusting. I'll say.
Okay, and here, okay, I'm gonna. All the others kind of I don't give a shit about. It's number 8 here that is just insane to me. Best Mexican restaurant. Satsu, do you have any guesses?
It better not be Taco Bell.
It's Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Oh my God. Are you well, fast food, I guess. Maybe.
But it's not just fast food.
No, it's not fast food. It's not supposed to be fast food. Like Cheesecake Factory is maybe just 3 steps above fast food, but it's not fast food. It's a sit down kind of thing.
Oh hell no. Cozumel is like one of the best, if not the best. But fucking
Taco
Bell, really?
The best Mexican restaurant on the planet. And here's why.
Yeah.
They can sell you a full taco. They can sell you like 5 tacos for $1, and you will like them.
Yeah.
If that is not Mexican, I don't know what is.
You'll just
until you get dysentery.
That's all right. That's Mexican too. Angela in chat says Taco Bell's not Mexican food. Yes, it is. America.
It's American Mexican food.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Wait, Chi-Chi's was so much better. Yeah, but they went out of business because they poisoned all of their customers. And by the way, Chi-Chi's is slang for titties in Mexico.
I got two interesting stories I'll do from Captain Brambles here because both headlines grabbed my attention. Pharmacist sentenced to 12 years for diluting cancer drugs.
Yikes.
Jesus, what a douche.
This is not the first time I've heard something like this happening. There was a guy in, I think, Texas several years ago that did this. And because he was basically charging Medicare for the use of a full bottle while he was only giving patients a diluted portion of what they should have gotten. So he was getting paid more rather than he was actually ordering. And so he's bilking the government out of millions of dollars. And, it's difficult to say how many people died as a result of that. But anyway, this comes from Berlin. A court in West Germany has sentenced a pharmacist to 12 years in prison for diluting cancer drugs on a massive scale in order to finance his luxury lifestyle. In its ruling Friday, the Essen Regional Court said defendant Peter S., they don't give his last name? Okay, just Peter S., had manipulated at least 14,000 drugs.
Yikes.
Like 14,000 instances of doing this, and he only gets 12 years? Jesus. The quality of which was not insignificantly diminished. The offenses took place in nearby Bottrop between 2012 and 2016. 14,000 times in 4 years, and he only gets 12 years. Prosecutors accused the 48-year-old, whose surname wasn't provided for privacy reasons. This guy had better lose his fucking license and be known everywhere.
This fucker's going to prison for skimming on cancer drugs, but we want to protect his privacy.
He's accused of harming at least 27 patients, although earlier estimates put the number far higher. 14,000 instances and only 27 people were harmed. I think that number's a little low, yeah. The defendant allegedly obtained more than 50 million euros or $58 million through the fraud and used the money to build a villa with a large water slide. 12 years, and he gets to have his privacy retained. Does he get to keep his medical license? Do hospitals get alerted, or pharmacies or whatever the fuck else he was working at get alerted to this? This is bullshit. Holy shit, Germany. What the hell? Okay, one more. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just that story.
That's nuts. Okay, and one more here from Captain Brambles. Woman admits to running school as a front to help foreign athletes avoid ICE.
Wow.
Charlotte, North Carolina. A North Carolina woman has pleaded guilty to falsely enrolling foreign teens sought by basketball recruiters and coaches in her small private school. Evelyn Mack faces up to 10 years in prison after pleading guilty Monday to a felony charge of concealing, harboring, or shielding unlawful aliens. A federal indictment says she took about $1,000 per student from recruiters to falsely represent around 75 teens as students in Evelyn Mack Academy. The Charlotte Observer reports that the school, which she's run since 2000, was authorized to enroll high school students under F1 visas. The indictment says she entered false information into the Department of Homeland Security system to avoid detection by ICE. Court records show Mack turned herself in on March 2nd. Probably because she was going to be caught anyway.
She entered false information
into Homeland Security. And yeah, only 10 years? Yeah, okay.
Well, what that made me think of, I'm just sorry. It made me think of the whole gun debate because everybody's like, we need background checks. How long did this bitch get away with putting false information into the database?
Well, sometime
Since
between
2000.
sometime between 2000 and this past March.
Jesus Christ. All right. Now, there is one I want to read, but I'm saving it for deep topic. But
Is it a Jack Cochran item by any chance?
No. It's a Colleen Bernier one. We'll get to it.
How many more you want me to do?
Let's stop right there for now.
Okay.
If we need to, we can come back because we do have quite a few in here.
Mm-hmm.
guys, thank you so much for the submissions. But it is YouTube time, and it's my channel, so I'm going first to tell you I didn't do shit. Satsu,
Yes.
I heard a rumor you did stuff today.
Your sources are correct. I
What did
did
you
a
do?
video on Kino Jimenez being arrested for being a dickbag.
That's Jimenez.
Jimenez.
Kino Jimenez.
No,
Jimenez.
his name is Jimenez because fuck
Jimenez.
pronouncing his name correctly.
Fair enough.
Fuck that dude.
For
No,
the
I did a
record, he
video
does
on
not
him.
like Taco Bell.
Oh man. Yeah. Did that. My main channel, I uploaded some videos. I finished editing the last video that we did, the community stream for 7 Days to Die. So those will be coming back out tomorrow. It took me a while to get those that one edited, but I took care of it. So that one's done. I just need to upload those videos. And I did some sound stuff on my computer to get my audio to work a little better for the videos. And I figured out that OBS does have built-in sound stuff. The only difference was to get to it was to do something different. I had to go to, what was it? What did I say earlier, Monkey? It was under fucking, it wasn't under the sound settings, that's for sure. It was under something else.
Filters.
Filters, yeah. I had to go to filters to put it on there. Go ahead and get your super chat real quick.
Thank you, Mash. Seeing as Scribe always ignores my stories, here's what you missed. 1, Episcopal Church considers making God gender neutral. 2, leader of the 4 that kidnapped and tortured the teen in Chicago gets 8 years.
Yikes.
We may come back to the Episcopal Church one. I just don't want to talk about that other asshole. What else you got there, Satsu?
Oh yeah. I spent a bunch of time today while I was gaming, simultaneously hopping in and out of people's streams on Twitch, because I actually jumped into this Discord that's designed for people to grow their channels, and I was doing that a lot of the day alongside me playing the game and stuff. And yeah, I've been very, very busy, all of which I did with a migraine, but I'm good now. So yes.
I did forget to mention we will be gaming after this.
Yes.
Over on 2 Cents Plus, guys, you can jump in and play Ark with us. Hit us up on our Discords, and the information will be in there to join us. Scribbles.
Yes.
What did you do today?
Well, I'm actually done with a video. I haven't posted it yet because I wanted to break the habit of posting something just before the stream. So that'll be out. I plan on putting that out tomorrow after the movie stream that we're having on Monkey's channel for Iron Eagle.
Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, on movies you should have watched.
Yes, it is a. I think it's from Elite Daily or whatever. Do you remember those guys? Anyway, oh no, it's something else. Anyway, it's a commentator telling us all about the truth behind the immigration fight right now and what the real motivation of the Trump administration is to enforce immigration laws.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that, and you'll find out what the truth is tomorrow, and how much sense that made to me as I watched it. So there you go.
Did it set you free, Scribe?
Yes. I feel so much freer now, knowing the truth is the truth. Yeah. Anyway.
Waffles.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't want to cut you off if you weren't.
Okay.
We have a belated birthday. Black Romeo wasn't here on Thursday, but
Whose
nobody
fault
else.
is that?
Huh?
Whose fault is that?
It's his, but there's nobody else to sing to, so we're singing to Black Romeo.
Oh, okay.
For 2 reasons. 1, I love singing, and 2, I like irritating Satsu. So, Black Romeo, are you out there? You should have been here 2.5 days ago at this point, and waited for 12 hours for us to sing to you. Anyway, this one's for you, bud, and a 1 and a 2. Happy late birthday birthday to you.
You think because you got black in your name, you could be late?
Happy birthday to you.
That ain't how shit work around here.
Happy late birthday, Black Romeo.
African American Romeo.
You lucky monkey hate me.
Happy birthday to you.
I hope you had a great birthday. I really do. What's that leave us at? Oh, we're at internet fucketry time, aren't we? Oh shit. Guys, I have a horrible pain in my rib right now, so if I mute myself, I apologize. Ah, son of a bitch. I know there was some fucketry today. What? Oh, our old friend David Hogg is back in business because he was in Chicago, y'all, for a march against gun violence.
Oh, okay.
And I just want to let y'all know the young people will win. And on that note, guys, I have a new fundraiser. I am raising money to help the young people win. Anything you can donate, I appreciate it. I'm not sure how I'm going to help them win, but I'm raising money to do so. So anything you can help me do, I think it's great for the children, right?
I know how you help them win.
How's that?
You raise money to send them to the Charlie Sheen School of Winning.
No. See, I'm spinning it on them. Keep it on the down low.
Yes, I mean, yes. Help Monkey send children to good things. For
here's what I'd come up with already.
Oh,
I will use whatever money is sent to me.
Yes,
to find things to entertain myself. So I stopped fucking with David Hogg on Twitter.
Oh, so midgets and beer.
Is this like a twisted long way to ask for Steam money?
Well, see, you said Steam money. My original thought was I would buy a premium subscription to Pornhub so I could watch midgets lick each other with no interruptions, and that would keep me busy.
That keep you busy, all right.
And that way that young person has a chance at winning because, man, he's an idiot. He came out with a tweet today. Let me find it because it's a thing of beauty, and I don't want to misquote him. Mm-hmm. Here it is. You ready? This is some deeply controversial stuff. David Hogg tweeted out today, I know this might not be widely accepted, but I really hate racists.
What? I can't accept that David Hogg hates racists. I just can't accept it. I don't know how.
This motherfucker thinks he's being brave.
How radical.
I don't know, right? Gosh. You know what, Monkey? Also, just so everybody knows, I know this might be a controversial stance, but I hate murderers.
I hate rapists.
Do you really?
I do. Three-sided coin, thank you. Helping the old broken cripple named Francis win. No, we're helping the young people win by donating to the old broken cripple named Francis. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I appreciate the donation. And thank you for starting it.
I hate the mainstream media.
Fair enough.
That makes it okay then. I see how it is.
I know that's radical. You know, it's like it's out there. I'm being
no, Satsu. It's totally radical.
Oh my god.
David. I don't remember anything else that I saw on Twitter today. Actually, it was kind of slow for me on there. And you guys have fucketry?
Yeah, I saw a post somebody today. This chick talk about, damn, I fucking hate white people with a passion. And she was like, and it feels good to be able to yell it out on Twitter to see all these people get mad, which translates to, I don't really deal with a lot of white people actually doing fucked up shit to me in real life. So I yell it out on social media to have them come to me so I can say, see, this is what I'm talking about. because that's what she spent like the next several hours doing. Is like, see, I'm proving my point. Y'all all flock here to tell me how much you hate me. It was like, no, bitch, you came out and said, fuck all the people in this general direction. And they responded, fuck you too, bitch. That's not the same as just people just hating on you just because you exist. I'm like, you're fucking just baiting. But yeah. And she went on to explain why it wasn't racist and why people who say they're reporting it for racism are stupid and doesn't know what it means. And then she had some people trying to defend her and support it. And it was pretty entertaining feed.
Yeah, I did forget to mention this with David Hogg. They had a protest in Chicago where he's taken kind of credit for it without actually taking credit for it on Twitter, but they blocked the Dan Ryan Expressway.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what he was talking about. Oh
yes,
okay.
Yes.
That was stupid.
Yes, that is incredibly stupid to block traffic.
And walk on a freeway where there's actually moving traffic is the other part.
Yeah, this isn't like just some local highway, man. That's a big. You're lucky you didn't get ran over or shot, you dumb fuck.
They were in Chicago, and that's what I was thinking too. Like, wouldn't it be fucked up if this story was like, yeah, so we blocked traffic in Chicago to stop gun violence, and about 10 of us got killed and shot in the middle of
10 of us got shot.
Just like.
David Hogg shot blocking traffic in Chicago. Oh yeah, he's not the smartest guy out there.
I wonder who they went to protest in Chicago about the shooting. They probably just found a bunch of like white people minding their business who spend every day dodging bullets like everybody else. Is like, this is all your fault, and all the niggas on the sideline with pistols on their hip, like, yeah, it's their fault.
It's just fucking stupid. Don't block traffic anywhere. It's dangerous. Anyway. Is that all our fucketry for tonight?
I can't really think of anything. Just
it's been a quiet Friday, and I'm glad for that. But I do want to talk about a story that I saw on Twitter today. This is my deep topic. I don't know how long it'll last, but new Australian law requires that all partners must say yes out loud.
Oh, yes, that's right.
The nuances of sexual consent have been on the table recently thanks to the #MeToo movement, and one state in Australia is trying to clarify what consent should actually look like. The new law states, in effect, that if you want to have sex, you must ask for it clearly and then hear a verbal yes back under new reforms announced by the New South Wales government in Australia. Under the package, which also seeks to protect against sexual harassment in the workplace, a $1 million advertising campaign will teach people how to obtain a clear yes. How to? That's vague. Are they going to become pickup artists? Get her to say yes. The campaign will target young adults in bars and clubs and via social media with messages like "no means no" and "silence is not a yes."
Oh, you people can't have sex anymore. Holy shit.
Thank you, Mashishu. Monkey, the Dan Ryan is a real-life Death Race 2000. I'm surprised anyone stopped for protesters. You and me both. I am surprised we didn't see hundreds of dumbasses run over. I wanted to talk about this one because I've mentioned on stream before, I got in trouble once. My wife and I were in bed. For this.
Oh, okay.
I was getting playful and she told me no. So like, okay, so I rolled over and went to sleep. And the next morning I was in trouble because I was supposed to keep going.
Well, right. You told us one before. That's right.
Yeah. This effectively ends that for women.
Oh.
A woman who wants to play hard to get in bed can't do it anymore legally. Unless you beforehand. Thank you, Prospero. No sex for deaf people
or mute people.
Yeah, because you got to hear a verbal yes. I understand the idea behind it. I really do, consent wise. But so much of human sexuality is nonverbal.
Oh yeah. I've had chicks get mad at me when I like just verbal, like talking at all. Just like don't talk, just
do.
Yeah, and they you trying to fucking open up conversation and asking questions like, and my brother actually told me a story about, you know, he was trying to be all, you know, just asking her like, does she like and shit like that, and she actually got mad, like she literally physically got upset, pushed him off of her, said like, what the fuck is this, a quiz? She like, what? Why you keep asking me so many goddamn questions for? Like, I've known women like that. They just like, I want to fucking have a conversation about sex. I want to have sex. Like, can we do that? And do they go further? Like, what if it's time to switch positions? Like, what? I don't know. This is gonna be weird.
Well, it also brings up the question: what if she changes her mind later? She already said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And what can be argued in court at that point? I'm like, well, she said yes, but no means no. But she said yes. I got the verbal yes.
Yeah.
And for me though, because that is a, you know, I don't want to say it's far-fetched. I can see it happening, but to me, the bigger issue here is how this is going to affect women. The majority of the time, my wife and I have sex, neither one of us ask, "Hey, do you want to do it?" The only time I actually do that is if I'm joking. When it comes to actually having sex, we just kind of start having sex.
Yeah, this is going to affect women way more than it affects men, but it's going to affect the women that the movement pushing this doesn't give a fuck about. They pretend like they don't exist anyway. Like, they're not real in their world. Like, women who like it rough, women who don't want to have a conversation about it, women who are turned off by like verbal interactions during sex or whatever, they don't actually exist. Like, they're just a myth that men have made up so we can take advantage of women. So fuck those people. And it's going to affect them the most. But, you know, fuck them. Who cares? They're not real anyway.
Do you think sending out tweets to young people, no means no, will actually stop a rapist?
Well, that's the idea, because they think that people who rape other people are just uneducated. Like, they don't know. Somebody has to tell them, like, while you're mid penetration, like, hey, you know this is rape, and they're like, whoa, wait a minute, is that what this is?
Oh my
God!
God!
I'm glad you stopped me. I had no idea that this is what I was doing. Or thieves sneaking in houses. Hey, you know you're robbing this place, right? Really?
I am.
I thought I bought all this gear, found out what your schedule was, waited to the perfect time for me to sneak in, carefully snuck into your house unseen because I thought I was doing something legal. Like, what the fuck? People are fucking dumbasses. They're idealistic, and they think that, you know, the world runs like fucking TV shows, but it doesn't.
Well, there's a justification given for this new law in the article here. It says a man named Luke Lazarus was acquitted of rape after a 5-year criminal legal battle, despite a jury and 2 judges finding the woman, then 18, had not consented to sex with him behind his father's nightclub in 2013. While the jury found the woman had not consented, the legal issue was if Lazarus knew she was not consenting. Both conditions are required to prosecute successfully under current laws. Thank you, Chaos Eve. Women are in general are nonverbal. What the fuck even is this? Well, that law, I mean, I can kind of see it with that law, but why not change that part of the law? I mean, how can you say the jury and everyone else knew she wasn't consenting, but he was iffy?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, I guess I do, because if there's some weird way he didn't know she was consenting. But again, what happens with like the situation with me and my wife? She said no. If I had taken her, she would have been a happy woman. But what if the next night she said no? I'm like, hey, no means yes.
Well, I guess I can also say this is a win for men too, because women are now required by law to stop beating around the fucking bush and say what they mean.
Yeah.
Like, I bitch, by law, you got to stop playing these mind games.
Well, here's the other part of that. Isn't it still a he said, she said?
It still is, yeah, definitely.
So it's going to have to be like, okay, you need to get affirmative consent on video.
Keep a walkie-talkie on you. Not a walkie-talkie.
You gotta call into the government. Wait, here she is. Say yes.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
man.
Here's the consent hotline where we'll record you saying that you give your affirmative consent.
Oh man,
They're gonna be whipping that shit out like last minute evidence, like when all that shit goes down. She's like, "Oh, he didn't say it." He gonna go through all the court proceedings and everything, and be like, "I'd like to bring one more piece of evidence."
Okay, Google, play her saying it. Oh shit, my phone just lit up. Stop it. Yeah, Alexia, record. And even in that case, then you get back to the what if she changes her mind later? I get what they're trying to do. I really do, and I'm not against consent. I'm not. I just think that
you're a man, of course you are.
Well, yeah. I think that making a law like that says you have to get a yes just kills sex. Gee, you might as well sit down and write contracts now. And I'm not talking the contract like they did in 50 Shades of Grey, which, goes over various.
I was about to say, but speaking of contracts, there are instances where that is legit. But anyway.
But that's different. That's not okay, we're going to just have, vanilla sex.
Right.
I need you to sign here first.
Yeah.
Wait, before you take them panties off, I need you to sign right here.
Yeah, it almost seems like the government trying to subtly find an entry point into them being able to take control of that somehow. Like they're just trying to this is the only entry point where we can get the public to agree to for us allowing us to take control of their sex lives.
No, there's at least 3 entry points, Satsu. Come on.
4 if you count the back and the knee, but
Oh,
there
what?
you go. Lords of the Night would like to remind you the anus is a possible entry point.
Tongue butter your turtle cave today.
Indeed. That's all. I wanted to talk about that because again, to me, it's just the intimacy of it, the spontaneity that just fucking kills it.
Oh yeah.
Because even with the contract, like you were talking, Scribe, for those of you who don't know, in a dom sub relationship, often there are contracts of what is allowed and what's not. And that makes sense because they get into stuff most of us don't. And you need to set rules.
Well, not even necessarily that, but if the relationship is established simply for the exchange of power and not that you're getting to some deep relationship with it, some people have complete no-goes. I mean, I've known people who they cannot stand whispering, or they cannot stand having their hair pulled. I mean, there are things that are just don't do it. It completely turns me off. So it's not always weird things. It could be things that are relatively mundane and simple to the rest of us, but it's still something that needs to be stated ahead of time so there's no mistakes or accidents or you're going to kill the mood. So, yeah. Well,
even in that case, I mean, you could set that contract on a Monday and not have sex again until Saturday.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not like this is what we're going to do here in 5 minutes.
Right.
You're allowed to tickle my balls twice.
Yeah, you're establishing your boundaries for encounters going forward, not just tonight's menu is blah blah. No.
Thank you, 3-sided coin. Okay, Google, record her consent. I'm sorry, guys. It was a super chat. I had to read it. Those of you with Google phones. What was the one you were talking about from Jack Cochran? I did not.
You have to scroll down to find it. It was everyday feminism.
Okay, I'm headed over there. We'll just talk out loud while I'm doing that.
Talking out loud, unlike the other kind of talking.
Exactly.
Oh, you see what Bear said? Okay. Monkey.
Yeah.
What's that?
Did you see what Bear said?
I do not consent to Monkey not letting me in his ass. Oh, that
whoa!
That causes a real big problem. Scrolling.
Did you just call Irate Bear fat?
I did not.
Okay.
Your daily dose of comedy, is that the one?
I think so.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. 5 things I learned about holding a predominantly white and cisgender feminist space.
No boy.
Oh, boy.
If you're a feminist or really any justice-oriented space.
Justice-oriented, like a courthouse?
I'm guessing, is predominantly white and cisgender, chances are that it's got a lot of messy and unchecked dynamics at play. I'll tell you my story of how I came to realize this seemingly obvious truth and what I've learned from it. Oh, God, this is her Anita Sarkeesian waking up moment.
Ooh.
We're just going to skip down to what she learned because I don't give a fuck about her story.
All right.
Number 1, no feminist space that is predominantly white and cis is safe or open to everyone. What?
Okay. Explain that one.
I start with this one because it's actually a really common sentiment held in all types of white progressive spaces that there is such a thing as a safe or universally acceptable space or accessible space. Sorry. Often the leaders of these spaces, who are generally white progressives with a usually non-black person of color here and there, will try to be the most progressive they can in order to welcome people who don't share their identities. The sentiment might come from a place of good intentions, but the mission actually ends up being to make a space where white and cis people, for example, end up having cultural and social power in that they're the majority.
In other words, they let other white people in, which is bad.
There's too many white cis people.
Yeah, they let other white people in, not thinking about the fact that they're bad. And when they become the majority, the space becomes unsafe. So I hate white people because there's too many of them in here. Continue.
Yes, which leads us to number 2, actually. She at least the first 2 lead into each other. Feminist spaces that have majority white and cis leadership need to be reflective about how they're distributing their power and resources.
They don't let us control everything when there's too many of them. Okay, cool.
That's basically it. Yeah, it's vital that organizations led by white and cis people redistribute their power and resources. Now, this isn't to say that other identities aren't important, but these 2, race and gender, are ones that I choose to focus on in this article because they're pretty significant to shaping cultural dominance and exclusion in feminist spaces. So you feminists are racist and sexist. Number 3, a feminist space intends to hold a conversation about marginalized, emotional, cultural, identity-related experiences. The person who shares that experience should lead the discussion.
Oh, geez.
A big mistake that my feminist club made was hosting discussions on topic that either speculated on other people's experiences when there was nobody to share those experiences in the room, or that engaged with them in a way that made some marginalized people feel really uncomfortable.
Oh, no.
You know what?
Such as... let me get this next one. Such as, for example, having a white cis male professor come in to speak about the differences in cultural attitudes towards Caitlyn Jenner's gender transformation and Rachel Dolezal's racial transformation.
Why couldn't that? So you're not allowed to talk about anything that you yourself have not done or gone through.
Yes.
Okay, well, you know what? That kills journalism right there. Good job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
Oh, it's weird because like that sentiment is not totally ridiculous just because of the fact that, you know, like if when we were talking about games journalists before then, we're like games journalists are writing articles about games that they didn't even play or you know, they don't even play video games at all, but they're like, oh, I'm the authority on video games, but I don't play them. But here's my opinion about why this game is not a good one from a person who doesn't play them. And I'm like, I get that, but we're not saying that they're not allowed to talk about them. We're saying that their opinion shouldn't be weighed as heavily because of that fact. But you could talk about it, whatever, you know, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'd never tell you you can't. I'm just saying, stop walking around like you're the authority on the topic because you're not.
Well, there's times that I sincerely ask you, Satsu, as a black man, what do you think about this story? Because I'm not a black man, and we have one here to give his opinion on stuff, whether it's that story or anything else. So if you're, you know, discussing the experience of a black man and there's a black man there, yeah, you should probably let him at least talk some. So yeah. I'll give her that part of it. But what the example she gave, comparing Caitlyn Jenner to Rachel Dolezal, Who besides Rachel? What, you're gonna have Sean King in there?
Right.
What other really well-known not race trader, race faker?
Race
That's the
trader.
word. I know. I'm sorry. That's what came to my mind. I apologize.
Race trader.
How many of them are out there to have that discussion with?
Yes.
Oh God. But yeah, absolutely. If you have an authority or at least somebody who's in that group, yeah, have them up there and talk. But the way she described it, it makes them feel comfortable. Nobody in that goddamn audience when that professor was talking was pretending to be black, even though they were quite clearly white. I guarantee it.
Yeah. And
nobody
also,
was like, nah, man, I'm black.
Also, we can't forget the fact that sometimes an opinion from somebody looking from the outside in is very valuable, depending on what the conversation is. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people on the inside or in that situation are looking at it from the inside out, and they may not be able to see it, the way that other person can. So that can be valuable insight.
There is such a thing as being too close to a situation.
Right.
And you can get blinded to it. And it absolutely does help to get an outside perspective sometimes. Anyhow, let's get on to number 4 here. It's not smart for the mission of a predominantly white and cisgendered feminist space to be devoted to shifting culture unless that culture shift is directly invested in critiquing white supremacy and cis privilege. Oh, somebody's firing off fireworks.
So you can't do a thing unless you think a way I agree with.
Yeah. Unless your end goal is to meet my demands and what I feel like they should be, then you shouldn't be talking about it.
Monkey, is someone starting war over there?
There's fireworks going off outside. I don't know how many are in that row he's shooting off. Stop it. No, it's not fun. The 4th.
Fuck you, it's fun.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but it's oh god damn it. Let's do the last one here real quick because there's people like me can do a lot of harm in majority white spaces.
Harm, you say?
People like me.
Jesus,
racist like me can be very toxic to
yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it, you piece of shit. But all right.
I want to read what she said here, but Jesus Christ, this guy out here. It's not the 4th.
I'm gonna shut up. Go out there. Shut the fuck up.
He's down at the end of my street. If it was my neighbor, that'd be a lot louder. At the time of starting this, hang on. Let me see if closing this window helps at all. Chat amongst yourselves while I'm gone.
Really? Monkeys in a war zone. Monkeys in a war zone. Oh.
Monkey's house is getting shot at.
Right. He's lying. He's actually in the middle of a gang war.
Right. He pissed off Lady Monkey and she's firing shots at him right now.
That's right. He's outside. You bastard. You weren't supposed to take no literally. Arg.
Right.
Okay. Is that better?
It wasn't bothering me.
It was all right. It was very muffled on our end. I mean, you'd hear it. It sounded more like just popcorn going off or something.
Yeah, but I had my headphones on and it was like he was right next to me, bastard. Okay, anyway, this was people like me can do a lot of harm in majority white spaces. At the time of starting this club, I was relatively well informed about the statistics of racial injustice in this country. But I understood very little about how oppressive dynamics operated interpersonally. People of color learn white supremacy, and some of us internalize it more than others. But particularly Asians, many of whom are taught that we're better than other people of color, can tend to assimilate and affirm white supremacy. This means that we don't stand with and for people of color, other people of color, in opposition to white supremacy. And sometimes based on our conditioning, we're just really eager to invalidate other people of color's experience with oppression. And when we do that, white people often use us as token minorities who legitimize their violence.
Their violence, you say? Okay.
That's to say that there are usually a few of us people of color in majority white spaces who actively sustain the white supremacy that exists in them.
So you're your own enemy, or some? So white people are inherently bad. Some non-white people are willingly being bad to themselves and thus to other non-white people.
Not exactly. What she's saying is that because Asians aren't as oppressed as black people, white people use Asians to prove that people of color can succeed in America, thereby saying that, say, Latinos or blacks who aren't doing well, it's their fault and not whiteies.
So
see what getting at?
Facts are racist.
Yes, basically.
Okay, all right. I want to make sure I understood.
Yes.
I wonder what would happen if a successful black person got into one of these groups. Would that be the same?
Oh yeah, it would be the same. I don't know. I don't know how to go.
I hate to tell this racist Asian woman, but there are successful blacks and Latinos out there.
Well, how do you navigate through life hating yourself that much? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. That's cryptic.
Just prostrating yourself to other people around you because you're like, yeah, well, and it's almost kind of insulting to hear that, where it's like, yeah, well, we're actually kind of inherently better than all the other people of color, so we need to dial ourselves back sometimes to help the lessers feel better about themselves. Because white people validate us, but
well, it's right up there with like if you have white privilege, you need to basically give up all of your worldly possessions to prove that you're a woke white person, even though you'll always be a white person, so you'll always have privilege, but at least you can be an ally.
Yeah. And you'll still be bad, even if you give us all of your shit and fucking pledge your life to us. You're still garbage. It's inside of you. It'll never leave you. So
original sin.
Just remember that.
I'm curious, Satsu, as a black man. No, seriously.
I don't identify as a black man.
What do you think about this new people of color, which includes everybody except white people?
Man, you know what I think about it.
Do you feel that you have the same experiences as Asians and Latinos and, say, an Indian from India?
I don't feel like I have the same experience as anybody who is not me.
Exactly. Thank you.
Oh my God, what? But Satsu, all people who aren't white live the exact same lives and thus face the same oppressions as all others who aren't white.
It's not us white people aren't doing it right, because we're supposed to be oppressing
everyone. And there are no white people who are worse off than anyone who isn't white, because Jay-Z isn't a thing and Barack Obama wasn't president for 2 terms, I guess, or something.
Like I said, if I'm not looking in the mirror, then I don't think the person that I'm looking at has experienced any, the same things that I have in the same capacity.
Oh, you're such a race traitor, Satsu. Jesus.
Indeed.
Well, me and Satsu both grew up eating ramen noodles. That don't make anything else about us the same.
Yeah, but your sauce packets had more stuff in it than mine because
I had them white sauce packets.
Yeah, because you're white and shit. So
okay, we only have 2 minutes left, but I do want to cover the story that Mash sent us because Jesus, the Episcopal Church formed a committee Wednesday to provide a pathway towards revising the Book of Common Prayer to include gender-neutral language. Church leaders called for the immediate revision to correct the overwhelming use of masculine language throughout the book, arguing that the language is now a hindrance to spiritual inclusion.
Wow.
You know what? I'm fine with this. You know why? Because if they are willing to revise essentially religious texts and the Bible to adhere to more modern standards of things, I say keep that going. Move on to the Torah and the Old Testament and the Quran, lickety-split, please.
This is a quote. As long as men and God are in the same category, our work towards equality will not just be incomplete. I honestly think it won't matter in some ways. Will Gaffney, a professor of the Hebrew Bible and a strong advocate for the edit, told the Washington Post. Okay, I'm sorry. The Bible, especially the Old Testament, is supposed to be the Word of God.
That's what I mean. This is why I want this to happen. I want there to be precedent. I want it to be said that it's not set in stone, as the Bible would otherwise say. I'm fine with it. If the Bible and religious texts can be revised to conform to more modern standards of things, good. I don't know.
I'll get back to that in a second. Thank you, average apathetic American. Last time I checked, white is in the crayon box. So people of color includes white people. Technically, black is the absence of color. So yeah. Yeah, but very few people are actually black. I've seen some. I had a friend in high school. That dude was black. And he hated being called Midnight.
Oh.
He did. He really did. And then one night we took a picture and we're all against a fence.
Oh no.
It was just under our shoulders. So in the picture, you see his body and then his eyes and his teeth. It was, I was like, you're Midnight, motherfucker. It's okay. He was also gay. The life was not kind to him. No, here's the thing. I get what you're saying, Scribe, about updating that. But when it comes, if you want to change how you interpret it, that's fine. If you want to interpret man was created in God's image as humans were created in God's image, I have no problem with that. But changing the text, you can't do that and say you're still part of that religion. You can't.
Well,
That's also good then. I don't have a problem with that either. I mean, this is a win-win. Not only does it negate the idea that the text is holy, sacred, and immutable, it also allows for the possibility that more modern ways of thinking, not necessarily, I mean, I understand that this is like 1919 ways of thinking coming in, but hey, I'll take that over nothing else, can come into religion and maybe alter some people's otherwise really restrictive discriminations against others, maybe?
Oh, yeah. And I personally think that, because basically what they're saying here is we're willing to relieve ourselves of the validity of our own religion that we feel like is, can't be replaced, like for the sake of making people feel better about themselves. And it's just like, okay, well, atheists right now are like, oh, really? Okay, cool. Yeah, you go ahead and do that.
To me, just if you're gonna claim to be religious, and I am glad for all of the reformation that's happened. If you followed the Bible by exactly what it said, it's not the best way to live your life. Sorry guys, it's just not. But to change the words, and talk about, we're gonna put together a committee to see if we can change God's words. God will smite you for that if you believe.
Well, there was, and I'm not a religious scholar by any means, but I do recall that at one point there was a convention many couple hundred years ago or something that did try to bring several different biblical texts into alignment with one another, kind of thing.
Well, and there's also,
the King James Bible, I think, is like, that was the result of it. That was how you got King James version of the Bible.
If you're looking at, say, the ancient writings, I can understand some argument over what they actually mean, because we don't know what what's the word I'm looking for, usage they were going for with some of the words. Some of the words are way too close to each other, and so there is some scholarly debate about that. That's fine. Changing the words of the Bible because you don't like man is just wrong. Anyhow,
I think it's perfect. I think it's hilarious.
Well, I mean, it just is one more thing. It reminds me a little bit, my same sort of notion of the Equal Rights Amendment. Let's put out the Equal Rights Amendment to free women from the oppressions of men, except that by doing so, you're giving men a whole host of new things they didn't have access to before. So, as a Trojan horse for changing biblical texts and defying the idea that things are set by God and cannot be changed, again, I'm fine with the Trojan horse effect of them trying to be politically correct. That's all.
Yeah, and a lot of it has already been changed, and they're not following it to the T anyway.
Sure.
So from my perspective, all of y'all going to hell already. So fuck it.
Guys, with that, sorry, we're 5 minutes late for chat time. This is your time. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them into chat now. We love hearing from you, so give us what you got. Herbie just a few minutes ago said atheists can't have an opinion about religion. Even if you believe that, I'm agnostic, so I can still have my opinions. I don't know where to go after what I just read in chat there with Chaos. Chaos says, Herbie goes bananas. Funny how you think I'm even wearing panties right now.
Herbie's goes bananas.
Well, yeah, Herbie's the one who said atheists can't have an opinion there.
Yeah.
Are SJWs professional liars? Not necessarily.
No, they generally, a lot of them generally believe what they're doing is right and base it on things that they think are accurate and true. And it's not, it's one of those things where it's like, if someone worships Zeus, they're not lying that Zeus exists. They believe it's true. So,
Snubber says we're all going to hell. Monkey's just riding shotgun. At this point, I'm on a ramp with my wheelchair, just headed straight down. If there's a hell, I'm going there, and I've made my peace with that. Nothing for you here says I think we should keep the Bible as a historical text. It's useless as more than anything else. It's a profound part of history, however you slice it. I'll give you the historical context or historical value of it. Anybody who disagrees with that is just wrong. Even if you're just studying religion, there is a good reason to study religion. Whether you are religious or not, there's an excellent reason to study it. If nothing more than in a sociological perspective. I mean, what better way to study sociology than through religion? Seriously.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who gets pissed at YouTubers who make videos that seem poorly researched, misinterpret facts, and seem to deliberately omit information? No, Jim. No, you're not.
Yeah, I think most people who aren't doing that are.
And it pisses me off more if they're on my side of whatever the argument is.
Oh yeah, which Dusty can't understand, because there's no way you could be mad at somebody on your own side. It's ridiculous. You can't criticize people on your own side.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Mash. I forgot about that. Lords of Night, did you know the video you brought up last night about Blair and Shu was just them at a shooting range firing guns at targets? I haven't watched the video. We were just commenting on what Dusty had said about it because Dusty's an idiot.
Yeah, and apparently he didn't either. That's funny.
Monk says the Bible is a study guide for spiritual balance. Everyone will get something different from it. Well, not everyone will get something different from it. I mean, if you go to a preacher, you're going to get what he gets from it. If you read it yourself, sure, yeah, that's valid. I actually like the Bible. There's some great stories in there. And there's some weird stuff in there too. The man with the loosened shoe is still the weirdest thing I've read. And I after my mom died, I had a crisis of faith, and I sat down and I read the Bible cover to cover. And very early on, you come across the story of the man with the loosened shoe. And for those of you who don't know what this is, if a woman's husband died and he had a brother, his brother was supposed to marry the widow.
Right.
And if he refused, they would go into the town square. She would untie his shoe and spit on him, and he would forever be known as the man with the loosened shoe. And that seems like the weirdest punishment I've ever heard of.
Well, I mean, it's an inherent belittlement of you, regardless of where you go or what you do.
You can wipe off the spit and retie your shoe, and everything's fine.
Well,
and you still didn't have to marry her.
Well, it's like the guy you knew in school who, like, he hated the name Midnight. It's like
Oh,
once you get stuck with that name, everybody's going to call you that.
Oh,
Yeah.
For the record, nobody else called him that because I would have whipped their ass for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a good friend of mine, and I wouldn't have done that if we weren't good friends. Let's see. And believe me, he called me some horrible things too. Did you guys see the video on Twitter of Trump supporters kicking out white supremacists? I did not.
No.
That doesn't sound out of character for most rational people.
Right, yeah. Like David Hogg, I'm against racists. I hate them. Satsu 2 cents. Have you read The Dark Maidens?
Nope. Chances are, if the sentence starts with "Have you read?" the answer is no.
He's black, guys. Come on.
I don't read.
You know what? I used to love reading, and I can't do it anymore. I'm too lazy for it.
I thought you lost the ability. It's like I can't do it anymore. Oh, what?
No, I can't sit down and just read a book anymore. I used to do it all the time, and I just can't. It bores the fuck out of me.
Yeah, dude, I'm constantly thinking of all the more interesting things I could be doing.
Yep. Like if it's good, they'll make a movie that's half-assed, but it'll be more than I was going to read. So, Stargazer Nut says, I saw that Proud Boys were there too, kicking out the racists. You know, we should have Youssef on again soon. We haven't had him on for a while, and the Proud Boys have been busy, so it'd be a good conversation. Oh man.
That's what people need to do though. Like if the people really want to show, like if feminists really want to show, like, look, we're down for everybody and we're trying to get everybody together, then they need to go after their radicals. The people on the right who are considered, conservative or relatively far right, they need to go after the fucking blatant racist. Black Lives Matter needs to go after their fucking racists. Like, and that'll bring some togetherness. Like people will be like, oh shit, well we know who to trust now. Yeah, I mean,
have you been on when we had Yosef on?
Probably not. It doesn't ring a bell.
I can't remember if he was on, because we've had him on twice, and I couldn't remember if SDA was still here when he was on last.
I don't think Satsu was part of the show the last time he was here, or Satsu was gone. One of the two, I forget. Yeah,
Satsu. He's a black Jewish Proud Boy. And I can't imagine somebody walking up to him saying something racist and him just taking it. I for the record, guys, that video that was going around about a week ago now, where that Antifa guy got knocked out, that was a Proud Boy that did it.
No, 12-volt says, please read books. You can vanish into another place. I can also do that with a video game.
Yeah, you ain't seen us get lost in a video game, have you? And we can do that for hours and days at a time.
Come over to the stream afterwards. We'll show you what it's about.
Yeah, quick reminder, guys. This Sunday, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, we will be on my channel talking about the awesome 86, right?
Yes.
The 86 movie Iron Eagle.
Iron Eagle.
And right after this show, we will be on 2 Cents Plus playing Ark with whoever wants to join us. It's an open server. There's 40 slots. If you want to come by and you have the game, feel free. It is on PC, so if you have it on a different platform, we can't play. Sorry.
Oh my God. Wait, did you know that they've released the full functional version of Ark on fucking iOS?
I did not. I knew it was coming to handheld, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can get that shit on a fucking iPad. The full, like it has all the same features.
You said full functional and Arc at the same time, and I don't know how to.
Well, yeah, because apparently people are reporting that it runs better on iOS.
It probably does.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Sorry guys if I missed stuff up here. Satsu doesn't read unless it is chat. Yes. Let's see. On a scale from 0 to 10, how Obamaized is your wheelchair if it leans to the left?
Optimized, I think, is the word.
No,
I don't think so.
No? Oh, I see.
Obama-ized.
I see. Never mind. I'm stupid.
I want to get to this question from Backscan because it's a good question I really haven't thought of. What do you think about the idea that all religious texts were made by the same God to guide society until they advanced far enough to reject them?
It's an alien plant.
Yeah, I mean, God, you're gonna make me get into. There's
We're all part of a giant ant farm, is what it is.
Well, I don't know about a god, but there is part of me that wonders if, because we've been asked about aliens before and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The species that have ended up on this planet, we science, at least right now, there's a theory that octopus is not from this planet.
Yes.
And it is possible aliens dropped some shit off here before. Do I believe that? I don't know, but my brain likes to play with the idea, and I would not be opposed to the idea that some early gods were actually aliens. So yeah, there, I said it.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I learned that from my ghost.
I asked Squishy an interesting question earlier.
What was that?
I asked her, what if everybody in the world was entitled to a level of happiness, but you had to suffer through a certain amount of pain to get there? And the pain that you had to suffer was the amount of pain that you inflicted on people in your past life.
Oh. Ranting Monkey's a fan of ancient aliens, and not
The crazy haired guy.
Cthulhu
To me, it would be much further back. We're talking like 50,000 years ago.
Cthulhu.
Did you get to see the show? Yeah. Lady Monkey was bummed because usually the place right next to our house that does the fireworks usually does it on the 3rd. And I told her, I'm like, they'll probably do it on the weekend. She's like, no, they're not doing it. And she was bummed because she didn't get to see fireworks this year. Oh. What you just heard was her getting to watch that fireworks show. You'll notice she didn't come tell me it was going on. Just throw that out there. But she really enjoyed it. So, Cryptic, thank you. That's called Buddhism, Satsu. There you go.
Is it?
I
know reincarnation is a thing that's in Buddhism, but I didn't know that the amount of suffrage you face in whatever new life you come back in is dictated by how much pain you've inflicted in the previous life.
Yeah, no, it's like it's sort of like Groundhog Day. Yeah. So Bill Murray repeats the day over and over again until he finally comes to terms with himself and life and everything else, and that's how he finally gets free. He's freed after he becomes a good person. So one of the tenets of Buddhism is that you will relive your life over and over again to experience the same mistakes unless your soul sort of learns how to become better as a result of the past experiences that you sort of subconsciously know. Kind of thing. I
heard that's where deja vu comes from.
That's one theory behind deja vu. Yeah, is that like, I've experienced something just like this before. There's also a theory that deja vu is the multiple universe theory. That a deja vu moment is a split that you're experiencing that's occurring between a decision point of one universe to the next in your particular little sphere, kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't know what deja vu is, but I've experienced it to the point where I can literally tell you what's going to be said to me next.
Oh man, dude, I've had some scary moments of deja vu.
It's freaky.
It's kind of terrifying, actually.
I don't know what the fuck it is. I have no opinions on that, but I know it's happened, and my ghost did not tell me that one. Chaos Eve says, Satsu's 2 cents. You made the minions paranoid, following us all back on Twitter today.
Don't do that, Satsu. Don't follow anyone.
Yeah, I did it with my 2 cents plus account.
Mash would like to know why there was no Dr. Pepper tonight.
Oh, I don't have any. I had my last one earlier today for lunch, so that's why. I do occasionally run out. I don't have an endless supply of Dr. Pepper.
I have a new fundraiser. I am raising funds so that Scribe never runs out of Dr. Pepper. Now, I'm not giving these funds to him. I'm just going to cheer him on with the funds that you give me.
Oh, I see how it is.
Monkey's got to buy one Dr. Pepper and keep it at his house and be like, this is for Scribe. This is Scribe. He'll never run out because I always have one for him.
Oh, God, I almost read a Sheograph thing. Where are we at here? Thoughts on the Herbie the Love Bug film franchise, and should Disney make a sequel of Herbie Fully Loaded without Lindsay Lohan? I remember seeing. Oh God, I'm so old. I remember
Yeah.
seeing the Herbie movies on the drive-through screen in
Wow,
San
the
Diego.
drive. Holy shit, that is old. I thought I saw the Herbie movies like on the Disney Channel. So I'm like, yeah, okay. No, the drive-through screen. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah, yeah.
Monkey.
I
Yeah.
saw the original Star Wars on a drive-through screen, and let me tell you,
Nice.
Darth Vader, when he turns to the only thing I remembered about the original Star Wars from when I first saw it, and this haunted me, was when they do the camera shot of Leia is about to get tortured by Darth Vader in the
Yes.
prison cell, and he turns his head
Mm-hmm.
on a drive-in theater screen when you're close. That is scary as fuck, especially when you're as young as I was at the time.
Yeah.
Sorry. Shieldgrass says, update, Dad is doing better today, still working on a car. Tell him to sit his ass down, and I'm glad he's doing better. I really am. Faith says, I saw him at the drive-in too. I was never a big fan of him. We also saw like the Benji movies and
Benji the Hunted?
I don't think it was that one. That came out later, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it was one of the last ones. I think that was 84 or something.
Oh, but to answer your question, RJ, I don't care if they make the movies. I won't watch them. I'm not a big fan. How would you react if a Latino wanted to change their race because of several SJW Latinos? What do you mean change his race? Like just claim to be something different, or like get pigmentation shot into him? I don't understand.
Are you graduating to Latinx?
That is so insulting to the Spanish people. It really fucking is.
Oh yeah, like I've seen some people go the fuck off about that shit. Like
Squishy. Hey, Squish. Sorry, I was scrolled up. I hadn't seen you come in. Better topping for chicken and waffles, syrup or country gravy? Country gravy.
It depends on what I'm feeling at the time, because either or is good.
My parents' 34th anniversary was today. What should I get them for next year? Lube. And give them our congratulations. That's 34 years is amazing. That's awesome. No Lenugs, not cocaine. Claim to be a different race and changing the complexion of their skin and eyes. If it's what they want to do, I mean, it doesn't actually change who they are, though.
Yeah, you're still gonna be Latina.
It's a grandiose tattoo, whatever.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of white people that make me go, God, I wish I wasn't white. And it's usually the self-hating ones. That and the people who listen to Justin Bieber. But I'm white. You can't change who you are. You can't. I was reincarnated as Jessica Rabbit. Tell Scribe to get his hands off me. Ah, his first love.
I wish.
Scribble's first love.
Oh, Jessica Rabbit. One of the reasons, not the only one, but one of the reasons that I'm a redhead fan.
She was a ride or die chick, man.
You know what? I like Jessica Rabbit not just because of how she looked, but Kathleen Turner did her voice.
Yes,
and I fucking love her smoky voice. Oh.
Kathleen Turner. You ever see? Oh God, I suddenly just forget it. Fuck the movie with William Hurt and Kathleen Turner. Wasn't Kathleen Turner? Body Heat.
I think I saw that a long time ago on Cinemax.
That was Kathleen Turner. Anyway, if I'm wrong, then I'm obviously very wrong. But anyway, yeah.
I loved her. Oh God, Romancing the Stone, man.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Yes.
But then she was on Friends as a drag queen. And it ruined it because she does look like a drag queen now.
Well, as a kid, I actually liked Jessica Rabbit because of how loyal she was to him. Like it was the looks and shit like that, but I'm like, she had this dude's back from the very beginning. No matter what happened, she was like, I believe.
Well, that was that one scene where Amy Valiant's like, "What do you see in a guy like him?" And she says, "He makes me laugh."
Yeah, and that's it.
Like there you go.
Yeah,
that's all it takes, and that gave me hope. That gave me hope that a big nerd like me could land a Jessica Rabbit. Yeah, and for a time I did, and then
she had his back that whole movie.
I married the prettiest girl I ever met because I'm funny.
Yeah.
Lords of the Night, if you were marooned on a desert island and starving, which one would you eat? Riley Dennis or Scarlett Johansson? I just ate a little while ago, and I will eat Scarlett Johansson right now.
That kind of eat. I would keep Scarlett Johansson around, so I would eat Riley Dennis.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, she meant literally. Oh, no. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, well.
I will muff dive right now just for fun. What do we got here? I would eat crack cocaine. I don't think you should.
Yeah,
It's probably a bad idea.
not the greatest of ideas, I would say.
It's another episode of Good Idea, Bad Idea. Good idea, not eating crack cocaine. Bad idea, eating crack cocaine.
Most men love redheads. It's a genetic thing. Also, don't read Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So different from the movie. I've heard that about the book.
Oh yeah, no, it's much different.
And yeah, I don't like all redheads. I like the Irish redhead, the creamy white skin, the freckles across the nose. I'm old school redhead.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than just red hair. I mean, but that is definitely a bonus.
You should have seen what Monkey used to do to his Raggedy Ann doll.
Oh, let me tell you. Ramen Lewis Glorious, first episode alone. What are we talking about? I guess they're talking about us. Yes, we are great. Don't forget, Lords of the Night, guys. Spread us far and wide.
Yeah,
spread us like I would Scarlett Johansson.
We love you guys.
Please, I'm gay and I'm offended. Oh, you know, we have quite a few gay viewers, and I love all of them. No homo. I mean, you could be homo, but I'm not. So, I know, right? ScarJo could have handled it better, but I don't really care that she's playing the role. I don't see. We're talking about Scarlett Johansson's reply to the controversy of her playing a trans man. I think she probably should have said nothing, but I really don't have a problem with what she said. Ebony Williams, Ranting Monkey, threesome with that Asian midget. What's her? I don't know her name. The one that Jim, I think it was Jim, sent the picture of. Oh. I would hook her to my face the way a horse wears their little
poop bag
feeding bucket. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd just wrap her feet around my ears and have fun.
You think your spine can handle that, sir?
I'll lay down.
So basically, you'd wear her like a surgical mask.
Yes.
All right.
And then stick her on my wiener and spin her.
You spin me right. All right.
And the third person, Lady Monkey. Duh. Thank you, Jim. Her name is Asta Young. And
Asta
God,
Young.
she is hot.
Asta Young and Asa Akira.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it.
I also want to grab a midget by the feet and see if I can shake him out like a carpet.
What?
I heard that one before. Good job, Monkey.
You can't do that with a full-grown person. They're too big.
Yeah, you're right. You can't really or easily.
James Colley says, y'all have thoughts on me sending nude pics to my parents' 40th anniversary?
Whose nude pics? Unless they're your baby pictures. In that case, it's endearing. But otherwise, you don't.
You broke my brain with that, James. Don't send your parents nude pictures of yourself.
Yes.
Now, if you need some, I can send you some. My God, Monkey. What I did? Poor Kathleen Turner. If Jabba had a wife, it'd be her.
What?
She is not aged well, dude. Yeah, she's not aged well.
It's true.
What else we got going on here? We got 2 minutes left, guys. So anything you want to get in front of our eyes, now is the time. Is Cynic actually in chat here? Cynic, thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, I lost a very precious dinosaur last night, and he found it for me.
Yeah, I was fucking flying Monkey around the goddamn forest trying to help him find his dino because he got killed because he's pressing the wrong button like a doofus. That might have saved him though, Monkey, to be honest.
Yeah. I got a little bit paranoid because he got attacked by some stuff, and I accidentally jumped off off of him, and I died and lost him. For threesome midget comment. Ebony, how long have you been watching the show? I like midgets. Let's see. They don't read chat on 2 cents plus. That is not true. That is not true. We read some of it.
That is a balls-faced lie.
Speaking of which, guys, that is going to bring the show to an end. I want to remind you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific time, me and Scribbles will be on my channel discussing the 1986 classic Iron Eagle, starring some white guy and Louis Gossett Jr. Great movie. Be there and make sure you watch it beforehand because we're going to ruin the fuck out of it if you haven't seen it. In about 15 minutes, we will be over on 2 cents plus playing Ark. You can join us through Discord. My link is below. Satsu's is on his channel somewhere, but come watch us on 2 cents plus. Chat, thank you guys so much for joining us and for all of the interactions. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the super chats. Can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Scribe, Satsu, pleasure as always, gentlemen. Everyone, Lenugs, thank you. Can I pretty please has a wrench? Remind me next time. Everyone, your life makes me sad. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Tonight's secret word is secret word.
Lazy.
Inventive. What the? No, that was witty is what that was.